Hi there. Are you tired of searching for job opportunities or just feeling really stuck in your career? Then stop scrolling because you just landed on the right page. KiawiTechIT Academy is a 100% online IT school that is designed to equip you with the skills that top Fortune companies are looking for. With core courses such as SQL database administration and cybersecurity, KiawiTech has trained and placed hundreds of students in top companies around the world. Believe it or not, the IT industry is booming and you can't afford to only be a spectator. So sign up today at www.kiawitech.com and start the journey to your dream job. Hi, everyone. This is our first live video for 2025. So I guess it's safe for me to say Happy New Year. I hope that we get people joining. I see that one person has joined. Ladies and gentlemen, when you join, let us know where you're joining us from. So once again, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025. This is officially our first live video, 2025 at KiawiTechIT Academy. And I am so privileged to be the one leading this. And of course, today I'm not alone. So I will be bringing on stage the very esteemed PR officer of the KiawiTechIT Academy for this conversation today. So while I bring him on stage, we'll just drop some very important links in the comment section as many more people are joining us. So once again, this is KiawiTechIT Academy, and this is our IT live show back to your screen. So thank you for joining us today. We're live on Facebook and on YouTube as well. And so whichever platform works best for you, stay with us because you're going to be learning a lot about how to navigate the new job career that you are taking, or just anybody interested in IT and wants to go deeper into carving a very unique or niched career in that area. So stay with us while I bring up on stage the amazing PRO of the KiawiTechIT Academy. That is no one else than Milton. Yeah. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Beverly. Can you hear me?
I can hear you 5 on 5.
Awesome.
Great. It's always a wonderful pleasure to have you because you were so knowledgeable and you were so blunt, if I may say, in the things that you say. So it's always great to have you have this conversation with you. And so I'm
Thank you.
happy that on a Sunday afternoon, you choose to come here and share the knowledge and your expertise and everything that you know with people who are interested in listening to what we have to say. So, for those who are joining us now, this is the Kiawi Tech IT show, and we have on the banner at the bottom of your screen more information in case you want to um, hear more about to read more about the next batch that we're onboarding. So we have all registration information is available at kiawitech.com. That's rolling right below as a banner. So you can look at that. If you join us late and you're wondering what this is, you can just take a look at that. Meanwhile, I'm just going to drop in the comments the important links that you can take a look at. I see we have one person watching. I hope that many more people are joining. I saw 3 more people joined, and then I didn't see them again. But I hope we get more people joining. Okay. So Today we have a very interesting agenda, and once again, I am Beverly Defoyne. For those that are joining us for the first time, I have been part of the KiawiTechIT Academy for this year. It's actually going to make me 3 years. Oh my god! I can't believe it's been such a long time, Gramilo.
It feels like yesterday.
Yeah, it's like yesterday. How is it 3 years this year? Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I have personally seen how people come in and leave, changed, transformed in this academy. And so it's been a great privilege to be part of this community. And today I am joined by the public relations officer of the Kiawi IT Academy, who is also an instructor, the one that will whip you when you don't follow instructions. Yes. Oh,
Innocent guys.
all right. So please, if you're joining us now, you can leave a comment where you're joining us from, and any questions that you have about Kiawi Tech Academy, about trying to transition into a new career in tech, about finding a new job, about perhaps you just moved to Europe or the US and you're wondering, what do I do with my life? Or any other country, feel free to interact. We're here to answer all the questions. We're here to give information, give knowledge. The same information is power. So if you do not know, you're not going to take the steps. And this is 2025. I'm sure most of us have New Year resolutions about, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to learn something new. This might just be the thing that you want to learn that will skyrocket your career to something new. And so I think I can start off to share some really interesting statistics that I saw, Gramilo, recently about the IT industry. And you can correct me if this is not right. I think I saw SQL database administration, for example, the average starting salary is about $70,000 to $95,000, and I saw cloud computing was about um, I think 80,000 to 120,000, and even cybersecurity was like 90,000 to 130,000, just an average salary range for experts in this field. And that was really interesting. And I was wondering, like, why do people not do this if they really don't have, career options? And
Yeah.
if they are thinking of IT, because IT is so broad, like when we just talk information technologies, it's so broad, and people might be like, oh, what do I get into? Which one? And so, like, carving out this niche of maybe SQL or cloud computing and cybersecurity, and seeing this Google statistics showing the starting or average salaries. Average starting salaries is meaning it could be more, for this different fields or paths that one could take. I just wonder why people don't try to find their path in these different areas, especially people who might imagine that it's difficult. I mean, what do you think is like one of the biggest obstacles or stumbling blocks in the way of people embracing a career in IT?
Sure. Thank you so much, Beverly, for that question. Like guys already heard, my name is Milton Chia. I'm the Director of Public Relations for KiawiTech, and I'm also an instructor. And we can talk a little bit about myself later, but you will definitely see on the wall some of the certifications that I got. So I have come to the table with some bit of experience and to be able to talk about this and answer questions, right? Um, IT is, to answer your question, Beverly, IT is one of the most diverse careers that I've ever really had to learn about. Maybe there are others, but IT has proven to me that it's very diverse. First, the thing that make it diverse is not just the salary; it's also the different job titles that comes with it. Someone would just say, "I'm an IT," but
Yeah.
IT is more like an umbrella, terminology that can be used. but you want to deep dive, you see that you have database administrator, you have network administrator, you have cyber security analyst, you have compliance, you have auditors, IT auditors, you have Salesforce administrators, Scrum masters, right? You have data analysts, you have data engineers, architects, all sorts of names, right? I can go on and on and on and on, all of them under IT, right? So, in a bit to try to answer your question, I think that the reasons why people don't get it is it's multifaceted. There are many different reasons. One, it could be that, especially in America,
Right.
that they are not informed. It might just be that they're not informed. Maybe especially immigrants who come into this country, the people don't give you the right information that you need to know to be able to propel you, go faster, right? That could be one. There's just not enough information out there, and people don't just know the sources where they can get the right information, right, to get all of that. Just like you were saying, I don't know if I could, I have a way to put it in the chat or somewhere, but I could have just gone, and then there's a website called www.bls.gov. It's owned by the US. I don't know how I can put that if I have
I can put it down in the comment section. www.bls.gov.
B as in boy.
Okay, bls.gov.
Yes. So that is what we call Bureau of Labor Statistics. If you want some information about these things, you can go there. You have very reliable information, right? That can help you in terms of the pay rates and pay grades and all of that. And you will see that even entry level, so long as you have a bachelor's degree in whatever field in IT as a database, will be approximately 80 or 85,000 a year. So think about that. That's a very good pay, to be honest with you, right? As an entry level. So when people don't have that information, they don't have those websites to be able to say, oh, okay, if I looked at this, should I decide to go do a degree in IT versus maybe go do social work or a degree in social work, right? You got to be informed to be able to make those decisions. So there's lack of that information. The other thing might just be that lack of motivation, right? Either from family, friends, ever. A lot of times, with the way the world is challenging now, lifestyles are changing, so the standards of living are changing, policies, public policies are changing, government agencies are changing. People are not motivated.
Yeah.
You understand? People are just not motivated to be able to get into this. So that's the second point. The third point that I think, in my opinion, and I'm okay if people have questions about each of these that I'm mentioning, will be that it also depends on how people market it to you.
Okay.
Right? There are a lot of training schools out there, but the question is, who told you about KiawiTech?
Interesting.
Why did you choose KiawiTech?
I haven't thought about that.
Exactly. So people don't ask questions like, should I just go to KiawiTech because Beverly told me, or because I was online and he met Milton talking about this, or my friend went to KiawiTech, so shall I go to KiawiTech? No, do some basic research.
Right.
Ask basic questions.
How
much does it take? How much is the tuition? What is their course structure?
Right.
Ask questions. Once you are informed with some of the basic answers, you can be able to say, hey, you know what? Or even ask questions as, what is their teaching methodology? I usually teach in class and I tell my trainees that, listen, change every batch.
Yeah.
I change every single batch. I add something or subtract something that I thought that was not going well just for the benefit of my trainees, right? When you know some of those things, then you know. Then the last thing that I will say is what I usually call it comfort zone.
Okay.
Comfort zone in the sense that, especially in America, where people come in, immigrants come in, life is tough, life is challenging, and then you start doing maybe some job that will give you a minimum wage of $10 an hour. And then you struggle, you navigate through it, then you are comfortable to maybe get a small car, able to pay your apartment, and then you're already comfortable thinking that, oh no, I can manage this, so I'm okay, I'm manage this. And then there's that fear of leaving that comfort zone to get into something challenging, something that can propel your life up straight. exponentially, right? So those are some of the things, and that is what we get. So, and I can tell you, even in my batch, I was in batch 8 in this program. There were people in my class that at certain point when we got to module 6, when we go to module 6, where we do virtualization, they literally quit their jobs to focus and say, hey, this is all my life, this is what I want. And just think about the beauty of living from a $10 job to maybe an entry-level job that pays you $45
Right.
an hour. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's just amazing.
I
So
just like how you explain it because I mean, for me personally, and I think this is really important, like to just talk about this in a very inviting way for people instead of just listing, hey, come and learn this and this and
yeah,
this because of this, but touching on these issues that are really relational that people can relate to is very important. When I was taking the SQL class, I mean, I didn't even realize that I was see SQL again in my life, so or elsewhere. And interestingly, because I'm in school, I'm doing a master's degree in global affairs at the University of Notre Dame, and I was doing a course GIS.
there
And
you go.
I opened it, and I saw SQL, a little button somewhere. Like, what? SQL is now following me everywhere I go.
Yes,
Because I was like, oh my God, no knowledge is useless, because even if I don't practice as a SQL database administrator, that knowledge, basic knowledge, comes through
you
in other.
can't go wrong with it. There
Exactly.
are data analysis programs like SPSS, like
Yeah,
Power BI, like
exactly. And
Tableau.
data,
That every
I
time
work
you
with
go,
data.
you're working in the development world and you're dealing with these applications. Guess where
Right.
that data that you collect to be able to analyze it comes from? It's from SQL, from a
Absolutely.
database.
And right now, I am also working on like this LCA software, open LCA software, and I
Yeah.
see SQL popping up somewhere like, oh, you can, and
And
I
you're like, oh, I know this.
and I see things like love file, I see things like, oh my gosh, and I'm like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
this is familiar. And so it just reminds me like it's so important. And these days, I feel like IT, no matter what industry you're in, whether it's medicine, I mean, or whatever field that you're in, knowing technology, knowing how to manipulate these devices and having some extra skills, would put you above. Because now, when I apply for stuff, I mean, I can use like Stata, I can use like different software, and things like SQL are incorporated into some of this software. So it kind of gives me an edge, when I apply for things because I have these extra skills. And so just to say, you might not learn and immediately practice in as a database administrator, for example. We're just using that particular course. Of course, there's several other courses that KiawiTech offers, which we're going to touch on. But then you find yourself being immersed into this kind of knowledge into in the
Yeah.
different things that you do. And so this is very important. And I'm happy that you were listing them that way. And so we've been touching on SQL. Maybe you can help us just give a little description of what is SQL. What is what is that? For
Okay.
someone who doesn't even know what that means.
Yes, because I believe that there are people online that are watching, dear viewers, that might not know
Yeah,
what is SQL, right? It's
right,
called, it's pronounced SQL, but it's actually SQL,
right,
but it is pronounced SQL, which
right.
stands for Query Structure Language.
Yeah.
So this is a Microsoft application that was designed to be able to manage data from the back end. Back end simply means when you go online and you are applying to a university, or you are applying for anything, you are applying online, or you are requesting, or you are booking an appointment in the hospital, or a dental appointment. It could be a dental appointment, or it could even be a flight ticket you're trying to get online. Whatever you're doing online, that website, it's called a web application.
Okay.
So when you go to that web application and you're entering data, they ask for your first name. You say Milton Chair, Milton first name, last name Chair. You give your phone number and address, whatever. As you key in that information, There is a container somewhere. Let's take a real example. You want to book a flight through Air France. Let's drill down to real practical things, how SQL works. You go to Air France website, you see a flight, you start putting in your information there. There is a container in the Air France server somewhere, maybe in Paris or wherever their data center is, that is there collecting that information.
Right.
You put in your first name, it collects it. You put your last name, it takes. You put your phone number, I put your address, you put your email address, it takes. That container is called a database.
Nice. That's one thing I like about how you describe things is that you take it to the very granular level.
So when Air France is operating as a company, they have to go to Microsoft, buy this SQL server, come and install in their data center, and then build an application, a web-based application, which is this website, and then connects it to that SQL server, which is a container that has databases at the backend that will be collecting this information. That is what SQL Server is, right? In very basic term and how you can use it. And you can begin to think about it just like Beverly was saying earlier. All the careers, industry, or any field you think about, healthcare, transportation, immigration, education, government, insurance, whatever you think of, even restaurant, catering, creativity, everything you think of.
Every company, every institution, they definitely
think of, right?
They have people, they have
data
coming in and out, and
exactly. If you're booking vacation to go to Dubai, you're using a website. That website is a web application.
Right.
If you make a call, if you're in Cameroon, you're using MTN. MTN has a server, has a database that collects that phone call and keeps maybe the records. Maybe for future, you never know. Maybe a court might request. Maybe there was a problem somewhere, and then they'll request the call records and say, "Hey, MTN, we're suing you for Milton's calls between January 1st and January 30th. We need to listen to his calls," right? That information is going to come from the database,
right?
In that container. So that is what SQL is. It's basically a database application that is being used to install to be able to collect data. I used to tell people that I work and I travel and I teach people in companies on how to use and manage data so that they can make informed decisions. So if you don't have the data, you cannot make decisions.
Right.
Companies, local government officials need data to be able to make informed policies.
Policy decisions.
Yes, economic policies that will affect their countries, policies that will affect their organization.
Sorry to cut you. I come from a really qualitative background, like I did journalism and mass communication.
Yes.
And I was not into like the data things. But now when I started doing my graduate studies, I saw the importance of data, like using data, analyzing data, collecting data myself and analyzing it. I was like, wow, this is really interesting because every decision, serious high-level decision that organization or government makes is really based on data. Like you can't just walk up to someone and say, hey, you should do this because if you do this, it would work this way. Like, where is the proof? Like, you show the data. So data is so important. And it's like, some people call it a new oil, in the past, the oil industry was like, oh, oil and gas. So this is amazing. But data now is like the new oil. And so it is super interesting for me, and I feel like I'm becoming a researcher, like a really quantitative researcher, because I am getting really interested in the quant of things, like what is behind the numbers. Even when I read articles, even when I look at macroeconomic and microeconomic numbers, I like kind of, how does that inform me? But then that was just by the way to say, whatever your interests are, as long as you are interested in how do we collect, how do we store, how do we manage, how do we keep it safe, and all of that, those are areas that you would find really fascinating to come learn at KiawiTechIT Academy, with the myriad of courses.
Even your personal life, the way I do things now, I use a lot of data to make decisions.
Right.
I look at things even at home. Sometimes I'm like, okay, What am I supposed to do? What data did I collect over the last year to be able to make that informed decision? Even like you mentioned earlier, that people take New Year resolutions. I'm not just going to say, oh, no, I need to go back to school. No, I have to take a stock, right? And that is data.
How the year has gone through.
Read all of those things.
So
Yeah.
true. And yeah, so that's SQL database administration, structured query language. That's just one of the courses. There are many others like cybersecurity and
AWS. We offer that.
AWS and
Security Guardian.
cloud computing. I know with cybersecurity, for example, I mean, due to the growing incidence of like maybe cyber attacks, private organizations are really leveraging the cybersecurity standards by their governments to protect their assets and remain eligible for business. So cybersecurity training at KiawiTechIT Academy will provide you with the needed training and exposure to prepare you for a role in this ever evolving field of cybersecurity. So, I mean, at the end of your training, you would be equipped to, perhaps there are several career paths that you can take after that training. I mean, maybe something like IT security analyst, security control assessor, information system security officer. Like there's just a ton of things that you can do with cybersecurity. And it's one thing to be online and another thing to be safe online. And I think personally, I have started really thinking deeply about how do I stay safe online, to be honest, even not just as an organization. But one time my card was compromised. My bank card was compromised. I opened my card and I saw someone, taking Uber with my card in California.
Oh yeah, that has happened to me once.
I've never been to California. Who is using my card? I was like, ooh, that kind of hit me, and I was like, wow, maybe I should do a cybersecurity to, how do you put such information online and stay safe with all of that. And so just to say, like, cybersecurity is very important. It's important to be online, but also important to stay safe online for organizations, for individuals, for whatever reason. But it is absolutely important, especially technology. The era is already here. We're not going back. It's only going forward. And the worst one, AI is here and here to stay. I mean, recently I saw China released AI that's competing with other AI that have already existed because they make it cheaper. And so one question that also arises for me, which I would like for you to say something about, Gramilo, if you have any thoughts, is the IT industry, right? Like it's coming up really strongly, and people are asking questions. Like it's only getting better and better and more refined. And so what does this mean for people who are interested in IT? Is it going to create more jobs? Is it going to take away more jobs? Should people be worried? What is AI going to do to
the only worry, the only problem? Yes. No, thank you for that question, Beverly. So let me just say it right. In a very short time, I can quantify it. I don't want to say 5 years or 10 years. If you don't know a lot in IT, you will not survive. Have you noticed that, especially in America, a lot of things you only talk to the machine?
Yeah, that's true.
As a matter of fact, I was just this week I was having an interview, and guess what? Come to think of it, is an AI computer that is calling me to interview me.
What? Okay.
I'm serious. I'm not kidding. I had to go Google and find out what is going on. I discovered it was an AI technology that the computer is using to call me. It's not
it's programmed to like ask you questions and then you answer, and then you
answer. He questioned you, you answer, it records it, transcribe it, and then keep for the HR. Oh and the hiring manager to come and evaluate it. So that is what is happening, right? You go to the, have you ever driven to the airport to pick up someone, and then you're trying to drive out? There is a kiosk, there is a barrier. You just need to talk to the computer, pay everything with a card, and then you move up. Digital world.
Exactly.
Digital world, right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen they have a paycheck that used to come, they mail it to you, and you sit in your comfort zone, and then you use your phone to take a picture of that paycheck to save it, that money to your account without moving an inch from your sitting room, and it goes to your same account.
Oh my God!
Right? think about KiawiTech. Like I said, I was in batch 8. Now we are recruiting batch
18. This is batch 18 that
I've been
we're.
teaching from batch 9.
Yeah.
I've been teaching for 9 batches
Wait,
already.
you studied. Wait,
In
you
batch
studied,
9, I was in batch 8 as a student, and then
and in batch 9 you were already teaching.
I was already teaching. Yes.
How did you quickly make that transition? What was it that prepared you so much from being a student in
I
teachers
know. Let
in
me just before I come to this second one. The thought
yeah,
I just wanted to make there was that imagine that for 9 badges that I've been in KiawiTech, I've been able to teach, mentor through KiawiTech, and put into the job market hundreds of trainees
right.
all online, a lot that I have never seen physically.
Yeah.
So if the point I'm trying to make is that a couple of years down the road, if you're not in technology, if you're not in IT, even if you're not using it to practice, like you said,
Yeah.
right? Because it cuts across everything, even social work,
Absolutely.
right? Which social work goes to collect data, patient information. They use gadgets that
Yeah,
are digitally designed, technology,
that's
right?
right.
So I just wanted to say that yes, that is a very the interesting turn in which. So if you are out there not contemplating, you might even be a teacher. If you go into classrooms in America, you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Everywhere is digitalized. You have projectors, you have computers, you have whiteboards, you have everything.
that's right.
You cannot teach if you don't know technology. You
That's right.
cannot be a nurse in America if you cannot operate a computer because the cards I configured. I used to work in the hospital as an IT person. I could tell you the cards that they pay, the nurses push and the medical doctors to collect information. That's the computer system that is inside, and you see only the monitor up.
Hmm.
I used to install devices called I've forgotten the name. You put it on the ICUs where they connect to that computer, and then when they collect data, patient data, that device will automatically sync that data to the data center in less
Right.
than 15 seconds, right? In the
Right.
ICUs, in the hospitals. So
You
that
know,
is all I can say. That it doesn't matter what you're interested in. You can be doing telecommunication, you can be doing mechanical engineering, you can be doing a nurse, you can be in the medical field, you can be a teacher, you can be whatever. Technology is for you if
that's
you
right.
want to be part of this. Now,
Thank you.
to
You
how I
asked another
quickly.
question. Just give me a second to show this because you talked about you training lots of people. Please hold on to the thought of that answer because I really need it as well. Just to say, if you are just joining us now, this is KiawiTechIT Academy, and we're here to tell you all about how you can start a career in IT with zero prior skills. So if you're watching us and you have no idea what we're talking about, you have no idea what IT field you might be interested in, just hang in there, stay with us, leave a comment. Leave a comment on where you're joining us from, what your interests are. If you want to talk to somebody more to see if this is something you really want to do, just leave us a message in the comment section and we will definitely get back to you. There's tons of link I have put in the comments, which also include the link to the April batch that we're onboarding. And so you can also join it and you would get more and more orientation. But just to say, let's look at a snapshot of all the different countries that KiawiTech has trained and students from who have been placed in really prestigious countries. I am putting it on the screen right now. I don't know if you can see that. We have different countries: USA, Canada, Germany, UK, Belgium, Spain, France, Kenya. That's it on the screen. So just for you to see where our database administrators, to be specific, this course, SQL Database Administration, are from, so that if you are in any of these countries and you're wondering, is it possible? Yes, it is
Yes.
possible because people from these different countries have been trained and by really incredible people like Graham Milo. And I have a picture of you with your volunteerism award from the previous or former president of the US, and I wanted to brag about you a little about Graham Milo. You're amazing, and you. Oh my God, I think I can show it up right now. Do you see that?
Oh,
Yeah.
and those are the hours, the volunteering hours that I put in KiawiTech, like more than
Exactly.
600 hours in
So
mentoring.
just imagine the kind of people that will be teaching you. These are people who are really selfless and have committed themselves to transfer this incredible knowledge. And so for him to receive this achievement, I think this was just a testament of the amount of energy and sacrifice that you put into supporting students and helping people. And so I really just thought to highlight it because I can brag about you all day of the things that you do and how you really sacrifice. Even when you're teaching students, you have days that you hang out with Grandmilo, but you have to be on video.
Yeah, that's the number one rule.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that very briefly so people understand like why should they be listening to you. You are amazing. You're not just an instructor, but you have gone to
No,
this
thank you.
length of receiving this kind of awards, which are really testifying to your ability to do. Yeah, so back to the different countries. You see, there's even African countries, there's Nigeria, there's Kenya, there's
Yep.
um Ghana and Uganda, Togo, Rwanda. So we've had DBAs from all these different countries. And so if you are watching us right now and you're from any of these countries that you're seeing on the screen, because of course KiawiTech IT Academy is a virtual school, so wherever you are you can learn. And if you check out the links I've put in the chat, you would see especially the website, you will see the course structures, you will see the prizes for each course, and you so that's why we would not labor those points because they are all listed on the website. But in case you need any information, you can always reach out to us and we will make that available for you. So Gramilo, I haven't, and just to maybe I should just also show this picture as well. That's what a typical class looks like, right?
Yes.
Picture on the screen. You see so many students, online, but as many as they could be, you cannot get missing in class because you will be pointed out and be paid attention to. Just to say, like, if you have a worry as a student, you will not get lost in the crowd because the instructors are really intentional about making sure that each, like, going at the pace of the slowest student, if I can say that way, so that everybody is understanding and moving together. So I just wanted to show that that's what a typical class would look like, with that is online. And so that's what you'll be signing up for if you join KiawiTech IT Academy. And if you're not yet sure, it's okay. You don't have to be sure, like watching us right now, like, oh yes, this is what I want to do. If you're sitting on the fence, that's okay. And that's why we have the link to the April cohort in the comment section for you to join the WhatsApp group and just follow through with the conversations, ask your questions, and at the end of the day, you can decide if this is what you really want to do. So you don't have to make a decision right now. This is just informational to get your feet off the ground of different things that you can do in 2025 and going forward. So with that said, let's come back to a question. I hope that you didn't lose the thought.
No.
I'm saying a lot of things, but I just thought I should highlight that for those who are watching. And so, yes, how did you leave from being a student?
I know.
You're being an instructor in batch 9, and
It
you've
was so
been
fast.
seriously for 9 years. How?
Yeah,
How
it
did
was so fast. So a little bit backstory about me again, which I mentioned. I'm going to bring in tidbits of that as we go along. So I was studying my bachelor degree in cybersecurity, and I was selected as one of the best in my class to go attend what we call the Cybersecurity Awareness Day in DC in the ICE office, which is Immigration and Custom Enforcement, one of the top departments in the Department of Homeland Security in the US. So I went there and there were a lot of jobs. Like they just jobs. But they wanted to give me that job on two conditions. One, that I will fill out an application on usajob.gov, and two, I have to be US citizen so that they can do security clearance for me. I could do the first, but I did not qualify for the second, but I was a green card holder at the time.
Yeah.
So then when I left from there without having the job, now I started thinking, what is it that I can do to stay within the context of IT? I was already in cybersecurity, right?
Right.
And that's where my DBA journey started.
Wow.
But I didn't come to KiawiTech immediately. I first went to another school where I started studying Oracle. And we can talk about what Oracle is, another database. But 1 month later, I registered in KiawiTech and I started SQL Server. So I was doing two database applications at the same time, Oracle and SQL Server. But in 6 months, I had finished with SQL Server and I started applying.
Wow.
So when I started up, but my other classmates in Oracle were still in module 1 after 6 months in Oracle. So you can see the difference. It's like day and night.
But down below, you, you, I think your case is a little unique also because, I mean, the
Yeah.
computer is not new to you. I mean, it was,
You see, the last certification of my world, what happened was, and I was applying to them. There was a company that I interviewed stage 1, 2, 3, and the fourth, and they sent me to the chief technology officer, and they literally said they need me to get certified for that.
wow.
Because there were only two of us now were contesting, me and some other person. They were really like, both of us were good, but they were like, well, and then that person had certificate I didn't have. I told them that they should give me time.
Yeah.
They gave me some time, and then I got certified. I will never forget January 28th, 2021.
Yeah.
And 2 days later, Microsoft deprecated the certification.
Wow.
And at the end of that week, they still did not give, the company still chose not to give me the job. Now, as per KiawiTech
Yeah.
policy, I was a teacher, what we call TA, like a teaching assistant at the time. Their policy says you gotta be certified. You gotta have two things. You have to be certified and have a job to be an instructor.
That's right.
So, and I was already a TA. I was already doing
Exactly.
revision.
You
Yeah, so it was a smooth
cannot,
transition to me now. Given that I've already certified, then
it made so much sense. Yeah.
yes, that's how I just from batch 8 now. When they were recruiting batch 8 in April, I just got into it.
That's such a cool
Yeah.
story. And when I see other people who came to KiawiTech and couldn't move a mouse, and the instructor will literally be telling them, "This is you have to right click
Yeah.
and do that." I'm like, "Oh, what is this?" And I'm like, "Will these people make it? This is so basic. Like they don't know where to right click, they don't move a mouse, and share your screen and things like that." And I'm like, "Will they make it?" I
At
think
the end of the day, they're DBAs.
oh my gosh, I ended up. Oh my, I am always in awe of seeing how people progress when they come to KiawiTech and the patience of the instructors. The other day I was trying to share my screen from my laptop to my extra screen, and I was having some difficulties. I'm like, if Mr. Cyprian sees this, he's gonna just hit my head because he was literally the one teaching us in the basics of yes, you have to have two screens, so you have to share your screen and be able to move, stuff from this screen to that screen so that you can work and easily. And so, but that has been very helpful because now when I, not for SQL, but for other things, that is really helping me to be able to navigate and more efficiently. So I find this really, really relevant. And again, I just keep saying that it's not just about practicing in that field. This skill is going to be showing up in so many different places where you find yourself. And the thing that is going to distinguish you when you go into whatever career that you're in is these extra skills that you have. Because everything today is going to be revolving around technology, about your ability to use the computer, about your ability to keep data. Data is so, so important. And so I feel that this conversation is very necessary. I mean, we're going down the memory lane on time. So I hope that people who've been watching have been learning. But I think before we eventually get kicked out of here, I would like us to talk about the session that is starting in April. I wanted to show up something on the screen, so just give me a second. I wanted to show the flyer that has the different courses. I don't know, can you see the screen?
Yes, I do see it. I guess others see
I
it
hope
too.
that people online can see it as well. I'm just checking on my phone as well to be sure that it's showing on the live stream online. So I'm not just the only one. So we are not the only ones seeing.
Yes.
Yeah. I see different people are watching. Kylian, Ella, Uzo, Antoinette, James. Thank you for watching. Thank you for staying with us. And feel free to share this link with other people that you think might be interested so they can get this information that will be helpful for them. Yes, I see it on the screen now. So I'm sure that people are seeing it. So we can talk about it. Yes. So the next session of trainees is going to be starting this April. and there are a number of courses that are available for people to sign up for. Um, can you just, I feel like I've been talking a lot more, so maybe I should let you highlight the courses that are coming up this April. And the start dates are all on the screen on that flyer, but could you just highlight some of those courses that are on the screen?
Yes. So if you look at the screen from left to right, the very first course there will be the SQL Server database solution that that I just talked about, and you can actually see on that flyer that the orientation will be on March 29,
Yeah,
right, which is just next month. So it's not really far from here. And first class will be on Saturday, April the 5th,
right.
right?
Yeah,
And that's how usually we do orientation 1 week later, and then we have the first class. Then
right.
the very next program is a Microsoft Azure. Remember, guys, we'll talk about this a little bit more. As we teach you database, just remember that the future is the cloud.
Yeah,
Everything will go up there, right? So Microsoft Design Azure. So we also have a program for that, and that orientation will also be on March 29, and first class information will be on the 10th, because we try not to put everything to start on the same day, since there are two different courses, and we usually advise people to choose one, not two. You can handle two of those courses at the same time. The very next one is our AWS, which is the Amazon Web Services. All orientation is still on March 29 next month, and the first class will be on April 26. The
right.
reason why this date for AWS is a little bit ahead is because we do that program through our partner organization with Trust Tech, and because of the timing and how they do their own scheduling, we usually push it a little bit ahead just so that it doesn't interfere with other things. Right below AWS, you have our cybersecurity program, and their own orientation is a little different. And the reason why we put it there, because just like Beverly explained, cybersecurity is one of the growing and fastest in careers in IT right now. And if you are curious about how organizations, companies, government do protect information, including your own information,
Yeah,
that will be a place for you to go to, right? And their first class will be March 5th.
you're right.
And next one to the left of cybersecurity, you're going to see what we call the IBM Guardian, which is a security program that we work through our partner organizations, and will determine that date on how to handle data too. So that's how we do this at this point, Beverly.
Right. Thank you. And that the date for that is yet to be announced. I see that.
Yes, and the day, yes, the date is yet to be announced. Yes, thank you.
But for the others, SQL Server, Microsoft Azure, and cybersecurity and AWS, the dates are already there. And why should you choose KiawiTech? Because there's a plethora of organizations and institutions out there that are offering similar services. And you might be wondering, so why KiawiTech? Why not the other schools? You have the reasons there on the screen, but then we will highlight it again for you. You can see that the payment plan is available, so you don't have to pay all the fees at once. You can pay installmentally, and that's a good advantage for people who don't have all the cash up front. And there are flexible schedules. I don't know. I had a picture of the schedule that I wanted to show. I don't know if I kept it, but yeah, there is a schedule that is really flexible. So you can choose to attend classes at a certain hour other than another hour. And so that gives you that flexibility, especially for people who are working other jobs. Like, you don't have to quit that job to do this course. You can keep your job, and then you look at the time that is really convenient for you. And there's also videos that are recorded every time. Grammy, if I'm correct, if that still happens, yes.
Yes, we do upload all our classes are all recorded, and we do upload it to our Google Drive and grant you access where you can go
Absolutely.
back and
So
rewatch.
you can always watch and catch up if you miss. And so the flexible schedule should be another reason if you're looking for reasons why to come to KiawiTech. These are the reasons. And there's also interview prep. I mean, it's not one of those schools that will just train you and send you off to the wolves to be eaten. It will train you and take you to a boot camp on a hot seat so that you can see whether you're truly ready. And if you are not, of course, the school has many people who will get you ready for the interview stage and job, search. and all of those things, until you get that dream job that you've been looking for. And you see there is on the job support as well. So there is this huge KiawiTech community. There's a WhatsApp group, people who've been employed like since 6 years ago, 7 years ago. They're still in those groups, and when they have challenges in their jobs, they would text in the group like, hey, can someone give me an insight on how to do this? Because technology is evolving. Things you learned 5 years ago on how to manipulate or how to secure an environment, things can improve over the years, and so people might be able to help you. So there's that on the job support, even if you've already graduated from KiawiTech, and you don't have to pay for that, absolutely free. And so tell me why you would not want to come to KiawiTech with all this support that you get from a really, really caring community. And this is really a shoot off of the founder of KiawiTech, who is fundamentally somebody that is so transformation focused. And I think if he was starting this off really for the profit, he wouldn't have done it, because at the end of the day, it's more the interest is more about building people up, and helping people, find their dream jobs and helping people live their dream lives. And so that's why there is this huge, community and resources that are available and there's also, competitions, because people get into groups and present their capstone, and there's usually prizes to be won. You can you can win the prizes that include mentorship, even after you've graduated, by the CEO himself. So that's a lot that comes in, and that distinguishes this academy from all the other ones that you might see online. And you can start with a zero IT background. You don't know how to move a mouse. Like I said, people have come to KiawiTech and you don't even know how to turn on a computer. That's okay. They're so patient. They're not going to judge you. Trust me. They're not going to judge you for not knowing. And they're just going to take you as you are. So KiawiTech meets you right where you are, if that's how I can put it better. And then, but doesn't leave you there. Takes you to where you want to be. So meets you where you are and take you to where you want to be instead of leaving you there. So this is why you should choose KiawiTechIT Academy. If this is not reason enough, then feel free to step back. But I think these reasons are solid enough for you to want to be part of this beautiful community of people who are really just interested in investing in other people. And this is really important. Down below, if you have any last words, last wise words, words of wisdom, this is the moment.
Yeah, just to add that, if you could bring back that flyer, if you look at the bottom left-hand side of that flyer, you'll see that our applications are still open.
Yes,
we're still open for receiving application on our website. If you go to www.kiawitech.com, you can be able to fill out an application there. And then some of our student services representative will reach out to you, and then we can start a conversation on how you can get prepared. And this is the right time to do that. Don't wait till April, right? There's a lot of steps that has to be followed. Yeah, we have about, I think, 9 expectations before you actually start class, from filling out application, from buying the kind of computer that you need, from creating your KiawiTech email address, which we'll use that to grant you access, and so on and so on. Yeah, so
pre-SQL test. Yeah. The pre-SQL test that you take, just to,
you have to take a placement test, which is not to define whether you fail or not. No, it's just to measure whether you can, you can click the mouse, how fast you can handle the math. And then we'll be able to know if we will do computer basic with you for 2 weeks or 6 weeks, right, guys? So do that. And my last word to you is, please come to KiawiTech. I cannot talk about this more. I can imagine a work-life balance that I have, and where I'm sitting right here is right at the comfort of my home and on the table where I work. And I've been working this job remotely for over 3 years. As a matter of fact, June will make me 4 years as a senior database administrator in my job. And it has been so much fulfilling. So come, let's hold your hand, show you the right way, and help you be able to put food in front of your table in a way that is more comforting, and you can spend more time at home with your lovely family and kids and stuff like that. Thank you so much, Beverly. That would be.
I'm laughing because that sounds like a benediction after a church service.
Sometimes I want when I want to talk about SQL, I get a little passionate, a lot of passion
And you
about the
just
thing that I
I
do,
get it.
also.
That sounded like benediction, and the church say amen. Thank you so much, Grammy Laura. I'm so
Thank
happy
you.
that you were available for us to do this. I see we still have 7 people online watching, and
Okay.
eight people now
Maybe
watching.
we can take a question, or
Yeah,
did
if somebody
anyone
has
put
a
a question in
question,
the chat?
I've been
I
looking
think
at
we
the
still
chat.
have 2 minutes or 3 minutes, maybe.
Yeah, that's right. I've been looking at the chat, and I see Patience is watching. Hilton, is that Hilton? Yeah, is watching. I see Ella, Zebdi, and they're watching, but no questions. It's
Okay.
either they understood everything or they understood nothing. If they don't have a question, my best guess is that they understood everything. And
Yeah.
they also saved the links in the comments section to use later. If you need any further information, the links are all there in the comment section and the website as well. You can go there and you will see all the information about the courses and the course structure, the requirements, the expectations, what you're going to learn at the end of the day. And even the instructors, you can read a bit more about the instructors. It's on the website. And so you see the quality of people that are going to be walking you through this journey. And even the required books, everything is online on the website. But in case you want to talk to somebody and you're unsure whether this is the journey you should be getting on, our student services team is very, very available, very strong, and really 247 availability to respond to your questions. And so feel free to reach out on WhatsApp. There's also the link to the WhatsApp group that I shared in the comments section. I want to make sure that was done. Let me just check that very quickly. Yes, April cohort WhatsApp group. The link is there in the comment section. So if you want to join the group, joining the group doesn't mean you're taking the course yet. Disclaimer. So yes, you don't have to have made a decision yet to take the course. You just have to join the group. And there's so many people who they are sitting on the fence in that group. There's going to be a grand orientation coming up, and you're going to hear from the CEO himself talk a little bit more about this journey. And you can make the decision of whether this is a time for you to do this or not. And if this is not something for you and you know someone who might be interested, please share this video with them, share this live stream with
There
them.
is a question in the chat.
Oh, okay. Somebody just
I am in Denmark, and how can I enroll? Hilton Borea. So maybe we need to share KiawiTech.
Yes, I think I shared the link.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Enrollment link. I actually shared it in the comment section.
Okay.
I did share it in the comment section.
But this is our website, just in case.
Yeah.
I don't know if my message will go through. Okay, my comment can go through.
It cannot go through?
No.
Oh, okay. So I'm sharing this with. Yes. So Hilton, if you see, I've just shared the link. I've just shared the link. So if you take a look at the comment section, you're going to see the link. And that link is going to take you directly to the application on the website, just in case you would go to the website and be wondering about that link I just shared right now is going to take you straight to the application form for, I think, SQL. Yeah. So Ms. FD says, thank you for the wonderful detailed information. You're welcome. Hilton says, okay, I see. So he's seen it. That's great. Glad you saw it. Okay, let's make this under an hour. We're at 4:59, so we're going to end right now. Thank you very much for staying with us. Have a great rest of your evening, and bye.
KiawiTechIT Academy is all about empowerment, transformation, and education.
KiawiTechIT Academy is innovative.
KiawiTechIT Academy is empowering.